Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're taking a journey through the history of Lincoln Wheat pennies, the classic American coin that started over a century ago. These old pennies aren't just collectible, they can also be valuable depending on their year, condition, and small hidden details. Stick around as we uncover the coins that could be hiding real treasure in your collection. First up, the 1937 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark is a notable example of early 20th century American coinage and offers a direct connection to the historical and economic landscape of pre-World War II America. Minted at the Philadelphia Mint. As indicated by the absence of a mint mark, this coin represents a widely circulated and well-known design that played a key role in daily commerce for millions of Americans. Though in circulated condition and possibly showing signs of wear, the coin still carries both historical and numismatic significance. It serves not only as a piece of currency, but also as a reflection of the times in which it was used. On the obverse side of the coin is the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, which has appeared on the penny since 1909, designed by Victor David Brenner. The image captures Lincoln facing right and is considered a fitting tribute to one of the most respected leaders in American history. The word liberty is inscribed to the left of the portrait, and the date 1937 is located on the right. Above Lincoln's head, the motto "In God We Trust" appears as a reaffirmation of national values during a time when the United States was beginning to emerge from the hardships of the Great Depression. Due to the coin's circulated condition, some of these inscriptions may show signs of wear with finer details, perhaps partially faded or smoothed from years of handling. The reverse side features the classic wheat ears design that gives the Lincoln Wheat penny its nickname. To stylized wheat stalks frame the phrases 1 cent and United States of America. This side also includes the Latin motto E pluribus unum, which translates to out of many one, reflecting the unity of the states. The wheat design was symbolic of agricultural prosperity and national resilience, themes that resonated with Americans during the interwar years. While circulation has likely softened the crispness of the design on this coin, the overall layout and major features are generally still distinguishable even on worn examples. In 1937, the United States was in a transitional period economically and politically. Although the country was still dealing with the lingering effects of the Great Depression, there were signs of improvement. Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal programs had started to create jobs and restore some level of public confidence. The American economy was slowly recovering, and coins like the 1937 Lincoln Wheat penny were being used in everyday transactions for basic necessities like bread, milk, or newspapers. The penny was a vital part of everyday commerce, and its presence in pockets, purses, and cash drawers across the country made it one of the most familiar and trusted pieces of money. From a minting perspective, the 1937 Lincoln penny had a substantial production run. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 309 million of these coins, making them relatively common at the time. Because of the large mintage and widespread use, most examples that survive today are found in circulated condition. Coins like this one, which have passed through countless hands over the decades, often exhibit flattening of details, slight discoloration, and surface marks. These features, while indicators of age and use, also add to the coin's authenticity and charm, particularly for collectors who appreciate coins with a story. The composition of the 1937 penny is 95% copper, with the remaining 5% composed of tin and zinc. This traditional alloy was standard for the Lincoln cent from its inception in 1909 until the early 1940s. Copper coins are particularly prone to developing surface patina and coloration changes over time, especially if exposed to varying environmental conditions. While this coin may show a darker tone or uneven surface texture due to its circulated condition, such traits are typical and expected of older copper coinage. The design and continued use of the Lincoln penny is also noteworthy from a cultural standpoint. Abraham Lincoln is revered for his leadership during the Civil War and his role in preserving the Union and abolishing slavery. His presence on the nation's smallest denomination underscores the value that Americans have historically placed on integrity, leadership, and unity. The 1937 penny continues this tradition and acts as a reminder of the ideals Lincoln championed. Despite its small size, the coin holds weight as a symbol of American history and values. Collecting circulated coins, such as this 1937 Lincoln wheat penny, can be a fulfilling pursuit for numismatists and history enthusiasts alike. Although the coin may not have high monetary value due to its condition and high mintage, its historical significance and widespread use give it intrinsic worth. Each coin represents a tangible piece of the past, and holding one allows collectors to connect with the lives and experiences of previous generations. For some, it may have been a child's first earned coin, a wartime savings deposit, or part of a worker's weekly pay. Next up, we have the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a coin that carries both historical and numismatic interest. It was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use a mint mark. As part of the popular Lincoln Wheat Cent series, this coin was struck during a time of global conflict and transformation. The Second World War was ongoing in 1945, and much of the United States economy and resources were directed towards supporting the war effort. Coins such as this penny were a key part of daily transactions and were used by Americans in all walks of life. Even though this particular coin is in rusty condition and shows signs of where it remains a valuable artifact that reflects the era it came from, the obverse of the 1945 Lincoln penny features the profile of President Abraham Lincoln facing right. This portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner, has remained on the 1-cent coin since 1909. Above Lincoln's head is the inscription, "In God We Trust." To the left is the word liberty, and the date 1945 appears to the right in a circulated and rested condition. The finer details of Lincoln's hair, cheekbones, and suit collar may be worn down, and the surface may appear uneven or discolored due to oxidation. Rust on a copper coin is often caused by exposure to moisture, and over time can darken and roughen the surface. This is common in coins that have been handled frequently or stored in less than ideal conditions. The reverse of the coin showcases the wheat ears design, which gives the series its name. This side displays two stalks of wheat curving inward from the left and right edges, framing the central inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. Just above this is the Latin phrase e pluribus unum, which translates to out of many one. The symbolism in the wheat design emphasized productivity, strength, and unity values that were especially meaningful in a wartime period. On a rusted coin, these inscriptions and the details of the wheat stalks might appear faded or partially obscured, but the overall design usually remains identifiable even after years of circulation and environmental exposure. In terms of mintage, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 1 billion Lincoln cents in 1945, making it one of the most common coins of its type. Despite the high production numbers, each coin tells its own story depending on how it was used, stored, and handled. A coin in rusted condition may have been exposed to humidity, or may have been stored in a non-protective environment such as a drawer, a box, or even left outside. While rust lowers the coin's value in the collector market from a condition standpoint, it does not eliminate the historical and educational significance of the item. The composition of the 1945 penny is 95% copper, with the remaining 5% made up of tin and zinc. During the war years, particularly in 1940, 3 pennies were made from zinc-coated steel to conserve copper for the war effort. However, by 1945, the mint had returned to the traditional bronze composition. Copper is known to oxidize over time, especially when exposed to moisture, which can lead to surface rust or verdigris. Though not ideal for preservation, these natural reactions highlight the physical journey the coin has taken over the decades. Lincoln wheat pennies from the mid-1940s, like this 1945 issue, were an everyday part of American life. They were used for buying newspapers, soda, candy, and a variety of small goods. Children often collected these coins or saved them in piggy banks, while adults used them in countless transactions. In rural areas, pennies were vital for small sales at local shops and markets. They were also used in vending machines and payphones. The sheer number of uses underscores how important the 1-cent coin was in daily life and how frequently it changed hands. For collectors, a rusted coin may not hold significant market value, but it can still serve as an accessible entry point into the world of numismatics. Many collectors begin their journey with circulated wheat pennies like this one, which are rich in history even if not in pristine condition. A rusted penny encourages curiosity about where it may have traveled, who may have used it, and what events it might have witnessed. These coins are often passed down through generations, tucked away in jars or inherited collections, sparking interest in American history and coin collecting. In addition to its connection to daily life and commerce, the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny also serves as a reminder of the national and global events that shaped its time. As World War II neared its end in 1945, Americans were experiencing a mix of relief, optimism, and uncertainty. Soldiers were returning home, industries were transitioning from military to civilian production, and families were rebuilding their lives. A penny from that year symbolizes both the hardships of war and the hope for a peaceful future. From a design perspective, the Lincoln wheat penny is admired for its simplicity and clarity. Victor David Brenner's obverse design has stood the test of time and remains an enduring image on American currency. The reverse design, created to represent agricultural prosperity and national unity, adds to the coin's appeal. Even in a rusted state, these artistic elements remain present and recognizable, reflecting the durable design work that went into creating this long-lasting series. Next up, we have the 1958 Lincoln wheat penny is a fascinating piece of American coinage that holds both historical and numismatic value. This coin was minted in Denver, as indicated by the small D mint mark beneath the date on the obverse side of the coin. The Lincoln wheat penny series, which began in 1909 and ended in 1958, is one of the most widely collected and recognized coin types in the United States. The 1958 D penny in particular is significant because it represents the final year of the wheat reverse design before it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. That makes it historically notable as the closing chapter of a long and iconic era in United States coinage. This coin features the profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, which was designed by Victor David Brenner. The portrait captures Lincoln facing right, with the inscriptions, including the date, to the right side of the bust and the mint mark D just below it. To the left of the portrait is the word liberty, and across the top is the phrase "In God We Trust." Despite this particular coin being in good condition, rather than uncirculated or mint state, it retains a clear and legible display of these elements. Coins in good condition typically show moderate signs of wear on high points, such as Lincoln's cheek and jawline, but overall, the design details remain visible and distinct. The reverse of the coin displays the classic wheat ears design, which gives the coin its popular name, wheat penny. The two stylized stalks of wheat frame the denomination 1 cent and the words United States of America. Above these central inscriptions is the Latin phrase E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one. In a good condition coin, the wheat stalks will still be recognizable, although the finer lines may be worn down from circulation. Still, the general shape and symbolism of the reverse design endure even after years of handling. The wheat design was a tribute to American agriculture and prosperity and helped make the Lincoln penny not only functional, but also a reflection of national identity. The 1958 Lincoln wheat penny was struck from an alloy composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This composition was typical of pennies throughout most of the early and mid-20th century and gives the coin a distinctive reddish-brown tone when well preserved. A coin in good condition like this one might display some light toning or a slightly worn finish, but still retains its coppery character. Over time, copper can darken or develop a patina depending on how it has been stored or handled. The color and surface texture of the coin offer clues to its history, including where it might have been used or how it was stored. The Denver Mint produced a large number of 1950 AD wheat pennies, making it a common coin in terms of mintage. Over 800 million pieces were struck, which means this coin is generally accessible for collectors, especially in circulated or good condition. However, its significance as the final year of the wheat reverse design gives it special appeal. Collectors often seek to complete full sets of Lincoln wheat pennies, including examples from each year and mint mark. The 1950 AD coin therefore plays a key role in rounding out such a collection. This coin also holds sentimental value for many people. Because wheat pennies were in circulation for so many years and were commonly used in everyday transactions, they often evoke memories of childhood pocket change, saving in jars, or learning about money. The 1950 AD penny would have passed through the hands of Americans buying candy, newspapers, or household goods during the post-war era. This period was marked by economic growth, suburban expansion, and cultural change in the United States, and coins like this one were a constant presence in daily life. From a historical standpoint, the late 1950s was a time of transition in both coinage and American society. The end of the wheat penny design coincided with a broader shift toward modernity in American design and culture. The Lincoln Memorial Reverse, introduced in 1959, represented a new aesthetic that emphasized national monuments and symbols of unity. In this context, the 1950 AD penny stands as a last link to a simpler and more agricultural vision of American identity. For those who appreciate the narrative that coins can tell, this makes the 1950 AD issue particularly meaningful. In educational settings, coins like the 1950 AD penny offer a tangible way to explore American history, economics, art, and manufacturing. They can prompt discussions about who Abraham Lincoln was and why his legacy is honored on the 1-cent coin. They can lead to explorations of how coins are made and what materials are used in minting. Teachers and parents often use wheat pennies as a starting point for lessons in both history and math, making them useful tools for learning as well as collecting. Next up, we have the 1951 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a classic example of mid-20th century United States coinage. This coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, as indicated by the absence of a mint mark beneath the date on the obverse side. As part of the Lincoln Wheat Cent series, which began in 1909 and continued until 1958, this particular coin carries historical and collector interest despite being relatively common in terms of mintage numbers. The Lincoln wheat penny was designed by Victor David Brenner, whose initials appear on the reverse below the wheat stalks in earlier issues and later on the obverse. His depiction of President Abraham Lincoln was the first time a U.S. president had been honored on a regular issue coin, and the series became iconic in American numismatics. The 1951 wheat penny features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse with the inscriptions of liberty and in God we trust flanking the portrait. The date 1951 appears to the right of Lincoln, and in this case, there is no mint mark signifying its production at the Philadelphia Mint. A circulated coin, like the one being described, often shows signs of wear and handling. These signs include smoothing of Lincoln's cheekbone jawline and coat details, along with general flattening of the highest points of the design. Despite this, where the major design features remain identifiable and the coin retains its original composition and structure, the reverse side of the coin displays to stylized ears of wheat arching inward from both edges of the coin and framing the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. Above this text is the motto E pluribus unum, which means out of many one, and reflects the unifying principle of the nation. In a circulated example, the lines within the wheat stalks may be worn down and the finer details of the central inscriptions may appear less sharp. Still, the coin's overall imagery remains intact and recognizable as part of the beloved wheat cent design. This reverse design remained in use until 1958 and was later replaced with the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959, made primarily of copper with a small amount of tin. And zinc. The 1951 penny has a distinct reddish-brown or brown appearance depending on its preservation and storage over the years. Circulated examples like this one often exhibit a darker tone due to exposure to air, moisture, and handling, while some collectors prefer uncirculated coins for their luster and pristine condition. Many others find value in circulated coins for their accessibility and historical authenticity. These coins passed through countless hands and were used in everyday transactions during a time of post-war growth and social change in America. In 1951, the United States was experiencing a period of transformation. The country was recovering from World War II while also becoming more involved in international affairs, particularly with the Korean War, which had begun the previous year. Domestically, there was a push towards suburbanization, economic expansion, and technological innovation. Coins like this 1951 wheat penny were part of daily commerce, whether buying groceries, paying bus fare, or saving in piggy banks. The simple utility of this small copper coin made it a constant companion to American life, and its design helped foster a sense of continuity and tradition. Collectors often seek 1951 wheat pennies to complete date and mint mark sets, while the 1951 coin from Philadelphia is not especially rare. It is essential for anyone aiming to collect every year in the series. Coins without a mint mark like this one help represent the main output of the Philadelphia Mint, which was the oldest and most established of the mints at the time. In circulated condition, its value might not be high on the open market, but its historical and educational value remains significant. It serves as a tangible artifact from a specific era of American history and coin production. This coin also offers learning opportunities for those interested in American history or the minting process. Its condition can reveal how coins age when used in circulation. Examining it closely may reveal evidence of how it was stored, whether in a change jar, purse, or coin roll. It might even offer small surface marks or patina that suggest where and how it was handled. These subtle details make every coin unique even among coins of the same date and type. For beginner collectors, a coin like this provides a low-cost entry point into the fascinating world of numismatics. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series overall remains one of the most popular and widely collected types in the hobby. Many people begin their interest in coin collecting by sorting through pennies and discovering wheat cents with their distinctive reverse design. The 1951 example stands out as one of the more commonly found dates, but this does not diminish its appeal, especially for those who appreciate the historical journey of each coin. It represents the later years of the wheat design and helps tell the story of how coins evolved over time and both design and production techniques. Next up we have the 1939 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark is a notable piece from the early 20th century that represents an important chapter in the history of United States coinage. Minted at the Philadelphia Mint, as indicated by the absence of any mint mark on the obverse side, this coin is part of the long-running Lincoln Cent series that began in 1909. The coin features the bust of President Abraham Lincoln, who remains a powerful symbol of unity, leadership, and integrity in American history. The designer of this iconic penny was Victor David Brenner, whose initials were originally placed on the reverse of the first 1909 coins and later moved to the obverse near Lincoln's shoulder. The wheat reverse design used on this coin remained in production until 1958, making the 1939 penny one of the many issues within this celebrated and widely collected series. The obverse of the coin prominently displays a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln. Above his head is the motto, "In God We Trust." To the left is the word liberty, and to the right is the date 1939. In this case, the coin does not bear a mint mark, meaning it was struck in Philadelphia, which was the main U.S. mint facility at the time. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint generally did not carry a mint mark during this period. On a 1939 coin in good condition, details such as Lincoln's facial features, his bow tie, and his hair are still present, but may be slightly worn due to circulation. The flat surface surrounding the portrait may have some scratches or smoothing from handling over the years. Nonetheless, the design remains clear and the historical significance intact. Turning to the reverse side, the design showcases two stalks of wheat curving along each edge of the coin, which is why these pennies are commonly referred to as wheat cents or wheat pennies. Between the wheat stalks are the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America, while the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, is placed above. In good condition, the wheat lines may show some signs of wear, but are typically still visible. The overall layout of the reverse is simple and effective, communicating both the denomination and national identity with elegance and clarity. This reverse design was cherished for nearly half a century before being replaced in 1959 by the Lincoln Memorial design to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday. Coins like the 1939 Lincoln wheat penny circulated widely during a time of global and domestic upheaval. The late 1930s saw the United States emerge from the worst years of the Great Depression and begin to prepare for its eventual involvement in World War II. In 1939 specifically, war had already broken out in Europe, though the United States would not enter the conflict until 1941. During this time, American citizens used coins such as this one in their everyday transactions at stores, post offices, and public transport counters. The Lincoln penny was a familiar and trusted part of daily commerce, and it served as a constant reminder of the values Abraham Lincoln stood for, including unity and perseverance. Though the 1939 penny is not considered rare by collectors due to its relatively high mintage, it remains an important coin historically and numismatically. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 316 million Lincoln cents that year, ensuring a large supply of coins entering into circulation. However, not all of those coins have survived in good condition. Many were lost, damaged, or severely worn over time. A coin in good condition, like the one being described, typically retains most of its original detail, even if it lacks the sharpness or luster of an uncirculated example. For collectors, especially those seeking to assemble a complete set of Lincoln wheat pennies, the 1939 coin is a necessary and welcome addition. The 1939 Lincoln penny is composed primarily of copper with small amounts of tin and zinc, which was the standard alloy used until the early 1940s, when wartime shortages required changes in composition. The metal blend gives the coin its distinct reddish-brown or chocolate-brown hue, which can vary depending on storage environment and handling over the decades. Coins kept in dry, safe places tend to retain more of their original color, while those exposed to moisture or contaminants may darken or develop spots. A good condition coin may show a balance of natural aging with retained detail that tells a story of decades in circulation. Collectors and history enthusiasts alike find joy in coins like the 1939 Lincoln wheat penny because they provide a direct physical connection to the past. Every mark, every scratch, and every worn edge on such a coin is a testament to its journey through countless hands and transactions. It may have been part of someone's pocket change in a general store or dropped into a coin-operated machine during the early years of television and cinema. It may have helped purchase stamps, wartime bonds, or groceries during years of uncertainty. These coins are not just currency, but cultural artifacts capturing a small piece of American life during significant times. For those beginning a collection, Lincoln wheat pennies offer a satisfying and affordable way to explore the world of numismatics. While some dates and mint marks are rare and expensive, most can be found with patience and persistence. The 1939 no mint mark penny is a common yet meaningful issue, representing a stable point in the series and providing insight into pre-war American minting practices. Whether used for educational purposes or as part of a themed collection, coins like this serve as gateways into deeper exploration of history, economics, and artistry.